So you have been holding the position of ambassador of Turkey to Georgia nearly 3 years, and
More than 3 years.
More than 3 years, and you know quite well Georgian business environment. What kind of claims, for example, do Turkish businessmen, Turkish business people have in Georgia?
I once said this, and I will say it again. I call something called the headache factor, headache index. The headache index is about, if you're working on business, you need to take this risk of a bit of headache. Because after all, I'm a government worker, right? And so I don't have to deal with those daily struggles of the business, those people who have to invest money and to employ people, to give them livelihood, to pay their taxes. So making business is taking risks of that headache, which we are grateful for. Because if everybody wanted to work in the corporate government, white-collar works, who would have been the entrepreneurs to do this? They risk. So they need our support. Those who take that risk, they need our support to decrease that headache index. In Georgia, I would say that headache index is comparatively and relatively lower than many other places. So the Turkish business here, this is what we advise to them. I advise them, don't come to Georgia for short-term profits. Come here for long-term business. Be a long-term investor. Be a long-term trader which aims at joint production, targeting third markets, and this is happening. I've seen good examples. I've also seen disappointments. It was about wrong partners, wrong investment models. Yes, so these are issues. Now, what I could say about the Georgian business environment, I see a couple of issues which we should work together with our investors, with the Turkish traders, with the Georgian business world, Georgian government involved. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about more trust in I would say the Turkish financial institutions. The Turkish banks, as they call it, have more potential to work here, but it's not happening yet. The other issue is about developing strategies, regional strategies for certain sectors like logistics. Georgia has the ability to become a hub, a trade hub, more than a transit in the agricultural sector, full chain, logistics, I said. I'm thinking IT definitely. There is potential here. Tourism sector, in the nature tourism, surely. I have my own reservations about the casino tourism, but I will limit myself to that sentence now. Let's say diversification of tourism is necessary, particularly from Turkey, and plus regional perspectives.
So you have mentioned several sectors. Do you think that these sectors might be potentially interesting for Turkish investors?
Look, I don't know what will be interesting for Turkish investors now, to be frank. In the old days, it was construction. If you say construction, it means construction materials, architectural projects, and so on and so forth. But now in post-COVID, we have to look how the new demand and supply in different sectors will develop. When I first went to Turkey from my posting in 2000s, I was very surprised to see motorcycle couriers for McDonald's. I said, how lazy we are, that, you know, they not even drive in. We just, how can you have fast food being delivered as a motorcycle courier? But then the world evolved to that. They were actually not wrong. The world evolved to that. And how can we make this useful? Now, one example, if I need to send anything to Turkey from Georgia, a package, parcel, I need 10 working days. It's unacceptable. 10 working days. From Istanbul to the eastern part of Turkey, to Rize, one can send anything in 2 days or 3 days. Why 10 days to Georgia? Why aren't we able to use these networks together? I mean, if you think about the whole Caucasus, particularly after the Azeri liberation of the occupied lands, the Nagorno-Karabakh, we will be looking at a new regional dimension. We should see the Caucasus as a whole, and think about it as a whole. And then no country is too big, no country is too small. We will be able to use those markets. Why shouldn't be a Georgian cargo company who could deliver anything in this region together with their Azeri, Armenian, Turkish counterparts in 4 days, 5 days? Why do I have to wait for 10 days for sending something small? Like if I want to send, let's say, churchkhela, why should I be waiting that long? Yeah? Or a notary document. So these are, I think, the things we should be looking at, the sectors. It's not about only our agriculture. Agriculture, yes.
The first export train from Turkey to China left Istanbul 2 months ago, in the early beginning of December, as I remember, which was also passed through Georgia. Yeah. According to Minister of Economy of Georgia, Natia Turnava, says that the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway is the shortest road between China and Europe, which reduces the time the train needs to export some good, and also the price. That is increasing Georgia's competitiveness in the region. So what potential do you see for Georgia, and is it planned to increase the frequency of these train trips?
Well, the good news is the third one is on the way. So the third one is on the way. It is going, and the overall, it was, I think, 18 days. So from 1 month it went into 18 days, and the goal is, I think, 12 at some stage. Of course, because we're looking, you see, it's not only about China. It's about Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, all that region. And Georgia and Turkey are also together in that lapis lazuli connection from Afghanistan. So the middle belt, as we say, is really, once it is effective, once it is price-worthy in terms of competitive in the tariffs, of course it is very useful, because it's all these countries will benefit. It's not only about the end and the beginning, it's the process. And that use of that railroad, like we were talking about exports, right? So exports is possible only if you have competitive price in the transport. And this is what the trains give.
Hey guys, stay tuned, subscribe and follow us on BMG.